Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up, and we'll be getting underway very soon. The action has already started. Chance! That was superb goalkeeping.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
And it's hoisted clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Foden gets into a good position. That has not gone well. Palmer. Rijkaard. Neymar. That's a shade optimistic. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Oh, he'd have done well to reach that. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
And he's picked out the run. Joelinton! They've got to be quick to recover this. Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in. Neymar conjures time and space where few can. Messi gets into some space. Mbappe! Oh, well cut out, no margin for error there at all. So a third of the match, or thereabouts, gone, and we still await the first goal. Caught offside that time. Oh, that's well spotted. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
It's a promising position. Oh, that is asking for trouble. Doku could try cutting inside here. Doku going face-to-face with his great rival. That's tidy. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Threads one in. Floated through. Raya gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. Rodri. Over to the left. Doku. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Pass somewhat off target. Spread out to the left. Palmer showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out.
Red Star clearly are trying to establish themselves as a team that likes to retain the ball, Peter.
And it's a good watch, Jim, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's always a pleasure for me to see a team move the ball in silky fashion like this. But you know what's coming next, Peter. It has to be with a mean cutting edge.
Foden. Vardiol. And he was quick to react. Joelinton. Vardiol. Not the most convincing of passes. That's a risky ball, you've got to say. Alexander-Arnold, looking for a runner. Nicely worked. And he's picked it up out wide. Fired deep towards the back post. That'll be a throw. Cross to the back post. Surely now! That needed to be better, and he knows it.
That's good play. Plenty of targets in the penalty area and plenty of movement too.
Great defending, strong and determined.
Vardiol.
And it's Joelinton. Now that looks a decent ball. That is a brilliant interception. Out to the left it goes. Palmer. Good ball, good take. Tries a shot! Oh, what has happened? Shoots! It's loose now and they want to get it back. Shot a goal! Conte.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Joelinton is wide and looking to get onto this. A corner it is then. Van Dijk getting this one clear. And the half-time whistle goes. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Well, there's one standout, Peter, that needs improving, and that's the passing. All too often it's been found wanting, you know, much to the frustration of everyone around. And I'd go so far as to say that it's the biggest contributor as to why we have the scoreline we do.
Well, after 45 minutes, it is still goalless. A change, perhaps, after half-time.
And please welcome our lads to the field. Substitution on the field, number 14, Gabriel.
And we're off again.
Coming on to replace him.
Well, I suppose from a defensive perspective, Peter, neither manager can be too unhappy. I just wonder which team is going to up the ante first.
He has a look up, takes a shot! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. The shot! Just not quite happening for him just now.
Red Star really have stepped it up now. They could have been a bit more greedy and forced the issue.
Alexander-Arnold. Now it's Foden. And he's only too happy to take that back. Distributed tidily. And that has been slung wide. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Now it's David. That is Conte. And he's had a hit! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. Oh, that was no routine save.
Rijkaard really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Oh, he's been caught napping! And Messi! Too close for comfort. Well, into the second half, and it's still goalless. Linton. Doku. And it's Rodri. Oh, good spread. Now Foden. Great vision. It's come to nothing. So much has happened in this game, but still no goal.
Well, from an entertainment viewpoint, it's not the scoreline we would have wanted at this stage, although I'm not complaining about the commitment being shown. We've seen plenty of goalmouth action.
Doku, the specialist in tearing teams apart. Araujo, and that's been intercepted. Ruben Dias. Now it's Doku. Played out to the left flank.
This is actually quite a courageous move, and I'll add ambitious and adventurous too.
Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card.
Substitution on the field. Number 18, Jonathan David. Coming on the field is number 6.
Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Picked out brilliantly. Vinicius Junior. Araujo tries to pass it through. Played into space out wide. Araujo is sporting a guilty look after that.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
He's gone down, but the referee just tells him to get back up again. That is good alertness. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Neymar. Vardiol.
Red Star have turned up with a human blockade. This is top defence.
He's having a shot! And he hits the net! Finally, the deadlock is broken!
Look, before we can even delve into the detail, the significance of taking the lead should be our initial reflection, and that's priceless.
After 7.
Sharp skills, and such a delicious finish.
And how easy did he make that look? That is supreme.
Number 15,
So we have our breakthrough.
What a great time to score, but it does give the manager a real headache. Does he sit on this lead now, or try and finish it off?
Linton thinks about the shot. There's no flag. Foden! Oh, the ball's run loose. Oh, he's been caught on it here. Now the cross. Oh, smashing header. Oh, taken with style. And that should do it. Within sight of the finish line. It was wonderfully efficient.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
Red Star are doing very nicely, thank you.
Well, that's really winded the opposite.
Neymar! And that's a real chance missed.
Well, it wasn't to be this time, but that should add to his level of confidence, something they can really do with at the moment.
Couple of changes then in quick succession. Osimhen coming on here as broadly expected.
Well, this could lead to the injection of energy that might disrupt the rhythm of their opponents.
Is number 45, Osimhen.
Well, this does not look promising, Peter. The least they can do is to give the crowd something to cheer about, but that might be difficult from here.
Oh, it's off shapes to shoot! Rodri. Linton. Rijkaard cuts out the pass. Red Star making consecutive changes here.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Searching pass he's played there. It's a pretty loose pass. Well, for a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Linton. Shifted it to the flank.
There will be 5 minutes added time.
He's found a way through. And that is expertly dealt with. And it's Neymar. 5 minutes to add. Quality ball. He's on it. Can he get away? Linton. Jisung is looking to influence the game from out wide. And it's made its way to him. Look at the space here. And that is that. Well, that's a tough one. Losing is never good, but this one feels especially hard to take. Not a lot that went glaringly wrong. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion.
Hello,
the game yet to kick off.
to
The excitement already palpable. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. Things have got underway here pretty promptly.
Fernando Torres is looking really fired up here, Peter.
Well, he's been a favourite of yours for years, hasn't he?
Well, club biases aside, I don't think I've ever seen a striker who's so outstanding both inside and outside the box, and who routinely makes the spectacular seem ordinary.
And his numbers are a long, long way from ordinary.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
Roberto Carlos. He's under a lot of pressure there. And this is Scholes. Cross from Scholes. Climbs up big! Fair attempt, just the wrong outcome.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Scholes. He's a sharp little ball here. Looking for a runner. That is good alertness. And that's the end of that. Oh, what a mistake! Well, that pass isn't the best. Driving forward. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, both sides seem happy with the patient approach for now, still trying to have a good look at one another.
For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Fernando Torres, and he's surging through. It's out for a goal kick. Oh, he's been caught napping. Raul. And it's Roberto Carlos. And Van Nistelrooy! Well, that wasn't too dissimilar to the previous attempt.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get the reward if they can stick at this.
He's cleared it out of harm's way. Referee's given a throw. Van Dijk does really well to win the ball there. So we're still where we started right now. Now it's Mbappe. Roberto Carlos. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. That's a lovely, neat pass. Scholes! He's keen, determined to have his say. Cannavaro tries to clear. Opts for safety. Searching pass he's played there. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
And he's cut it out. Conte. And the counter is on. Messi providing an outlet on that flank. Koundé clears it away.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the... And Van Nistelrooy! A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. And it's Joelinton. Done delicately, and he was quick to react. Joelinton. And this is Kakitani. Played out wide. Clipped into space. And a chance! Goal! Boca Juniors! The angle was unkind, but he has hit the spot.
Listen, no one was expecting a shot from there. That's quite outrageous.
The goal scorer for Boca Juniors after 38 minutes.
Boca Juniors have
25,
broken through. It's 1-0.
Kakitani.
Well, this will present the manager with a few interesting options, Peter. Try sitting on this or push on with the opposition now forced to come out.
And into the grateful arms of the keeper. Linton gets a foot in here. Now it's Raul. No, that's been intercepted. Roberto Carlos looking to penetrate opposition lines. That's beautifully weighted. That's the keeper's ball. So what can they make of this? Mbappe. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. And here's Raul. And this is Van Nistelrooy. Shoots! And the half-time whistle goes. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here.
Well, obviously things are not good, Peter. It seems the team were just a bit too busy playing within themselves, too tentative. They have to improve and make it fast.
Everyone, please welcome our players to the field.
Whistle goes, and we start the second half.
Well, I think in these circumstances it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Koundé has created one goal already. Cannavaro. Van Dijk. And it's Koundé. Koundé, and it's Van Dijk. That's good pressing, squeezing the play. And it's Fernando Torres. Torres. Scholes. Messi. Now that looks a decent ball. That has been cut short. And it's Linton. Well, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. Raul plays it, up he goes! Good try, the outcome could so easily have been different.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit disappointed with that, Peter. You would have fancied him to at least hit the target.
Oh, played right into his path. Down by a goal, needing to go up a gear. That's how it looks here. It's a pretty loose pass. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Now it's Torres. Now it's Osimhen. Neymar. Neymar! He has hit that forcefully.
Well, he looks like he's annoyed with himself there. He didn't do an awful lot wrong, did he?
Takes a shot! Goal! They have hauled themselves right back into it.
And that comes as a very welcome relief. Now let's see who's got what it takes to seize the initiative from here.
The goal scorer!
Gratefully received.
I think the defence really need to wake up here, Peter. They really shouldn't be getting caught out like that.
That has certainly made things interesting.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Linton. That's Cannavaro. Van Dijk. Van Nistelrooy. Raul. Passing is crisp and sharp. Looking for the run. Oh, that's a fine challenge. Mbappe. Oh, they could break here. That's an imaginative pass. Van Dijk. Can he get it through? Koundé. And it's Van Dijk. Pass somewhat off target. And it's Neymar. Tries to pass it through. Linton. It's Roberto Carlos. Scholes. And he's managed to get free. There they go, hunting in packs. Lovely pass, but can he get there? It's Kakitani! They've got to be quick to recover. Oh, he's been caught on it here! Van der Ven gets it clear. Now, can they get him away? Messi. Fired deep towards the back post. That should be the goalkeeper's, and it is.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Tries from a long way out. And that's a real chance missed.
It's a very watchable game, isn't it? Any goal from here could well be the winner.
Substitution on the field. Number 45, Osman. Coming on the field is number 21. Substitution in progress.
So there's going to be another change here.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Number 11,
Roberto Carlos. And it's Cannavaro. Van der Ven. Nicely weighted ball. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Can he get on the end of this? And he's heaved it away. A couple of changes then in quick succession.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
This is intriguing. Next goal critical.
Listen, the fans haven't given up on this by any means. They still believe it can be won.
Oh, smashing it! Oh, off the bar!
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
He's found a way through. And he's quick to snatch it back. And that's gone loose. Neymar. Rijkaard he's having a hit! Oh, he gave that an almighty thump.
I think it was one of those, Peter, where he's caught it too well. He's not even looking at the keeper, so he knew where everything was.
Number 20, Messi. Number 17, Conte.
Look, there has to be more urgency here. The ball has to get to the other end much faster.
Good-looking ball. Now it's Mbappe.
There will be 3 minutes added time.
That's the throw. Fourth official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. He's shifting through the gears here. Shot a goal! Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, nothing to separate the sides in the end, not for the want of desire, drive or determination. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. The action has already started.
Tony Adams is the standout player, Peter.
Well, he does stand out, Jim, of course, but specifically how?
Because he's a colossal presence who seems to thrive the tougher the job gets. His level of commitment is an inspiration for everyone to follow.
Closest thing to a manager on the pitch.
Can't argue with that.
And here's Lewandowski.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
And the shot! Roberto Carlos. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Knocks it into space. Plays it in low. And he's cut it out. Messi. Oh, well played, well sorted out. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Cross is blocked, and that's a corner. And it's been taken short. Chelsea are looking to go forward now. No goals as yet. Mbappe. Rijkaard. And it's Hazard. And the return pass.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Chelsea are looking lively here. They're playing with more zest, more purpose.
They are, and it's all because of the movement we're seeing down the flanks, and I think they look as if they're going to cause some real problems to that opposing defence. Both flanks are working quite well now.
Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. He's a sharp little ball here. And the finish! No question, this is the man you want to get onto the end of things. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. Tries to play it through. Deflected behind for a corner kick. Hazard plays it short. Elects to cross. And now a sudden chance to counter. Tries to pass it through. Goes for goal! Cross goes in there. Adams with the clearance. Serginho. Turns back here, probably the best option. That's an imaginative pass. Can he get onto this? And he's managed to gift it back. Bernardo Silva. Played back.
Really got in his face there, and it was well played.
And he's worked it through. Now that's well seen too. And for a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. The ball has bounced loose now. Marquinhos defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Good ball, good take. Osimhen! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. Fired deep towards the back post. Casillas claims it without any fuss. He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. Serginho. He's got away. That is lovely. Big chance! Now who's... Oh, he's been caught on it here.
Oh, once he made the save, it didn't take the keeper long to start barking at his defence.
Now that looks a decent ball. Bernardo Silva could try cutting inside here.
There will be 1 minute added time.
And it's Serginho. Chance! It's a pretty loose pass. And the whistle goes for half-time. Well, it was a half of could-haves and should-haves, but as the whistle blows, we remain where we started. Plenty for both managers to mull over here.
And we come to you now with
No goals at this stage, but certainly not devoid of action. It is 0-0 here at half-time.
And please welcome our lads to the field.
And the second half gets underway.
Well, both sides are eager to get going. Here's hoping that it's a good sign. Things are about to change. We need a little more life in this.
Hazard. And he's managed to get free. Serginho. And chance, surely! Not the most accurate pass. And here's Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Nicely weighted ball. And he cuts out the supply. Raul. And he's had it nicked away. That is ended up in no man's land. Now it's Bernardo Silva. Raul, excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
That's simply brilliant defending. They were outnumbered, but he still came out on top.
He shifted it to the flank. Aims beyond the defence. Lewandowski unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Oh, good-looking ball. He has found the way through. Can he finish? It's there! And that really is so impressive.
I'm not making any apologies, but I was willing him to supply the finish, and he came up trumps.
Chelsea choosing to make the first change. Mohamed Salah to come on, a change that had been mooted for a while.
Yeah, he's looking for instructions, probably something along the lines of go make a nuisance of yourself.
So we have our breakthrough.
Look, experienced voices need to be heard now, along with good purpose and
Messi!
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
This is a really front-footed approach.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
There's the crossfield ball. What a throw in. So the manager can make a change for the first time in the game here.
Well, this could be a bit of a nightmare scenario for the defence, as you're going to be facing a very willing runner now, especially one that likes to make those runs beyond the defensive line.
Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, the time has arrived to start taking risks. They may well be happy just to level this.
Rijkaard is always scanning the pitch for targets. Mohamed Salah. That's a sharp pass. And that's the end of that. He's gone for goal! And that's caused a worry or two.
Very speculative with little threat, if any, for the keeper.
Substitution.
Couple of changes then in quick succession. A swift reaction then, and the boss opting to reshuffle his defence.
Look, only time will tell now if this is the right decision, but at least the manager hasn't dawdled. You know, he's reacted quickly, and it needed that.
Serginho is looking to influence the game from out wide.
Number 22, Beckham.
Now it's Lewandowski. And into the grateful arms of the keeper. Costa Curta. Chelsea looking to pass their way through. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Costa Curta. Roberto Carlos does really well to win the ball there.
They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Great chance! And that could have brought them level.
Well, at least it's earned them a little applause from the boss. The finish was lacking, but everything else was pretty good. Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Is there any support? He might not need it. Neymar was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. It is looking like the end. If anything's going to happen, it's got to happen now.
Well, it's looking like too little too late, but they are giving it all they have. This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolute... he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Rijkaard.
Substitution in progress.
And it's Salah. And he's been shifted off it. Cleared without complication.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
Driving forward, knocks it into space. Olise in acres of space out wide. Denilson. That's a shade optimistic. And that is that. Well, that was tense. The two parties separate.